Hey guys, hello and welcome back to Pen and Papers again. This is Siddharth. The last pen I reviewed was my personal favorite. This is a comparatively new pen that I have here. This is Delike Brass Fountain pen. We all have used Kawecos and other pens at some point in our fountain pen journey, but this is particularly special since the price point at which it is available is exceptional. And so let's look at the pen, and if it justifies that price range, or you should get just another Kaweco. Let's look at that. So this is the box that the pen comes in. It D-like writing instruments is written over it, and then this nib design over the box. This is a blue colored box. This is kind of tin box that you get with your Kawecos. For a long time now, we have been uh, Chinese companies are facing a lot of criticism because they're copying the designs and other things. But personally, I think that there is this type of generic designs. Uh, I mean, there's nothing to copy. So it's just a plain simple rounded pen. This has this foam insert to protect pen from any damage, and the pen sits here perfectly well. So so this is the pen. This is Moonman Delike Brass pen. The pen is made up of raw brass, solid brass. So it's a very heavy pen for its size. When we when we'll go to the size comparison, we'll see that it is not a big pen, but it is very heavy even in your hand. It is built like a tank basically. It's a very solidly built pen. The pen has nothing on the finial. It's just plain simple glossy polished finial, brass finial. Nothing at the bottom except for these threads. So these threads is where you can post the cap. Since it's a very short pen, it might not fit in your palm perfectly. So for that you need to post the cap. For some hands, if you have smaller hands, then probably you won't need the cap to be posted here. Then this has this small knurling pattern over it, as you can see. And that's about the construction, nothing else. There's no clip. It's a simple cigar shaped pen. The pen has a screw cap. The cap uncaps in around 2.5 rotations. It's difficult to see it here, but I have done it already. So it uncaps in around 2.5 rotations. And once you uncap it, it has this brass grip section again. It has this glossy polish, but it's not slippery. You get decent grip on this grip section. And then you have these threads here. The one thing particular about these threads is that they are very sharp. They are so sharp that they almost dig into your skin. All the threads are very sharp. Even these threads are very sharp. So if you mistakenly run your hand over it, then there's a probability that it might cut into your skin. But if you have if you tend to hold your grip here, then probably that won't be a problem. But if you are somebody who's uh, who's used to hold their grip here, then see, it starts making marks immediately because the threads are very sharp. That's a very big negative point for me. Then this pen has this steel nib, which has Delike super quality F written over it. The pen only comes in fine nib, at least that is what is available in India. It has this plastic feed. The nib is exceptionally well tuned. It writes really well. So though there are certain things I don't like about this pen, but nib is certainly not one of them. This nib writes really well. That we'll see in the writing sample. once you unscrew the barrel, this barrel is very heavy. We'll see that in the weight comparison of this pen. So then it comes with this converter. This is the converter that came with the pen. You can also attach any standard international converter or cartridge to this particular grip section, and that's about it. So that's about the construction part of this pen. Let's look at the size comparison of this pen. So this is Delike Brass Fountain pen. This is Pilot Petite. As you can see, the it's slightly longer than Petite. Then this is Kaweco Student. Oh, sorry, this is Kaweco Dia 2, and this is Pilot Kakuno. So as you can see, it's a very short pen. So if you are somebody who prefers long pens or you have bigger hands, then I would suggest that you post this pen. For posting, you can simply just screw this cap. With couple of turns, you should be able to put it securely here. It doesn't come off. And then the pen becomes a bit too long for me, but for some hands it might be an appropriate size. And then the pen fits perfectly in your hand. As for the grip section, this is a comparatively thinner grip section for me. It might be a bit slippery for some hands. For me, it is perfectly fine. I have dry hands, so this doesn't affect me much. So this is about the build quality of this pen. Let's look at the writing sample. Before we go to the writing sample, let's see how much does this pen weigh. So this time, only for this pen, we'll have a comparative weight analysis or comparative weights. It's a 42 gram pen, capped. Uncapped, this pen weighs around 33 grams. So it's a bit heavy pen. So if you put it in comparison with other pens, so this is my Pelikan M205. As you can see, this weighs just 14 grams inked. This is Kaweco Dia 2. This weighs around 24 grams. So in comparison, this is a very heavy pen, and some of you might, if you don't prefer heavy pens, then some of you might not like this pen much. So now let's look at the writing sample. For writing sample, the first paper that I have here, the paper is Cosmo Air Light 83 GSM. Pen is Delike Brass Fountain pen, and as you can see, though it's a fine nib, it writes like Japanese medium. The flow is also very wet, as you can see. For a fine nib, this has a very wet flow, and nib is exceptionally well tuned, writes really smooth, and at par with all the higher end pens that are there in the market. The second paper that I have here is Tomoe River 52 GSM. Let's try it on that paper. The pen has nice weight supply, weight flow. It writes really well, doesn't skip, and I haven't done anything. This is right out of the box performance. The only part that troubles me are these threads. Those tends to just dig into your skin. So that's the only bad thing I don't like about this pen. Otherwise, this is a very well balanced pen. When you write, you don't feel the heaviness of this pen. and is almost, you can actually use this as a tactical pen if you want to. This is very heavy. I don't know why they have put so much weight into this pen, but you see that in the construction quality. Even this part is very sharp, so be careful when you are, running your finger over it or something. It might cut into it. And there's no inner plastic lining inside the cap. That is probably because the cap seals really well, so there's nothing. This is an all brass pen. Even on the website it mentions that the pen is made up of solid brass, so I'm assuming that it might catch the patina over the years, over the as it ages. It will catch that nice brass color that some pen uh, some pens have. So this is about the pen. If you have liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your fountain pen enthusiast circle. Share it with your colleagues, those who like fountain pens. Your comments, your suggestions, and your feedback is most welcome. Please feel free to share your comments, suggestions, and if you have any queries, you can connect with me in comment box or through my Instagram page. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well. Bye bye.